I think that there's a lot of optimism from an S1 perspective, and there's a positive outlook in where mobile will be in the next 3 to 5 years, especially considering the ongoing investment in mobile technologies, not only from software companies, but also from financial institutions. And clearly the mobile phone penetration has reached the highest levels. It truly is, the market is saturated. The other thing that really gives a lot of optimism is just there's all these new devices coming out, whether it's the smartphones that have a lot more user interface capabilities, or iPads or tablet PCs. I think that really you have the opportunity to see a lot more people with mobile devices. And we really think that this is going to lead to an explosion in the volume of transactions being conducted through the mobile devices in the next 3 to 5 years. Really, a couple of key drivers, a couple of things that are driving that. First of all is the move from just doing mobile banking to truly doing payments over the mobile device. So payments are a huge driving factor in the increased adoption of mobile banking. And just the overall drive toward the increased use of different electronic channels to enable self-service. So not just payments, but things like being able to do proximity-based NFC type transactions. So instead of having to carry your credit card around, you can just use your mobile device as your credit card. Bill payments, using your mobile phone to conduct bill pay. What we're seeing is that the mobile phone or the mobile device is really the end user's sole way of accessing the internet now. If you think about the iPad really is replacing the laptop computer and even the home computer in many homes. So you're going to see a new generation, this new generation of consumers that use retail banking no longer use a home computer. They're going to use their phone, or they're going to use an iPad or another mobile device. Clearly, this is causing the line between mobile phones and the internet to blur. So when you think about all the smartphones that have sophisticated browsers and the high-speed networks, it really does enable the end users to use their mobile device as their banking channel. For financial institutions to gain market share in mobile banking, there's a lot of opportunities, and they really vary from country to country and from population to population. For example, if you have a very high migrant worker population, well, the mobile device is going to be an opportunity for those guys to enable money transfer and remittances. If you're in a first world country, the top opportunity may be to enable impulse buying from the mobile phone. Other things like being able to use SMS alerts for marketing. And finally, again, coming back to payments, the mobile device as a payment option. And then the last thing really is the mobile device as a security option. If you think about people, if you think about consumers and even small businesses, as they're making payments from the mobile device, then that mobile device also has to be enabled as a security token or a security solution with that mobile device. So those areas really are going to are the opportunities for the financial institutions to gain market share. And clearly, there's not one single solution to meet all banks or all markets' needs. And really what the banks need to think about is how they can find a partner or develop themselves a mobile solution that really covers not only their immediate needs, but also can carry them through into the future. Our belief is that you can't view mobile as its own standalone channel. And in doing so, if you're off developing a totally new mobile solution and you're not thinking about all the other channels, you're going to end up reinventing the wheel. So from our perspective, from an S1 perspective, what we're doing is we're looking at how we can leverage the synergies across our online banking channels, voice banking, card payments, ATMs, so that we can find innovative solutions that leverage capabilities across all the channels. And where we've done, things in one channel that are really innovative for that channel, how do we incorporate that into the mobile channel? So we recently announced a partnership with PayPal to do P2P payments, and looking at how do we expand that into other types of payments, such as bill pay, ACH, wires, even international payments is really, really interesting to us in an area that we think our innovations will carry us in the marketplace. The final piece really is just embracing new mobile technologies. This industry is evolving so rapidly, and as you think about things like NFC, there's just a lot of things happening, and we want to stay on the forefront of that and bringing those solutions to our customers. First and foremost, they've just got to get started. They've got to invest in mobile banking of some sort, and they've got to get their feet wet. Even if they're not ready to come up with some bank-wide, all-encompassing mobile strategy, just get started and start offering simple things like SMS or alerts. Get your feet wet, and then evolve your strategy. So I think that first and foremost, you got to get started. The second thing is to look at opportunities to incorporate mobile payments. So as a bank, you may not be willing to step up and allow your consumers to initiate wires from the mobile device, but you may want to offer P2P payments from the mobile device or allow bill pay from the mobile device. So payments is a really good opportunity for the financial institutions to start focusing on and really get their feet wet in mobile banking. I think the other thing really is to incorporate all of your client-facing channels so that you have a similar message going out regardless of the channel. So if you have a marketing campaign that you're targeting through the branch, through the online, through your call center, then you also need to enable that marketing campaign through the mobile device and push those, whether it's SMS messages or whether it's through the mobile browser when you log into mobile banking. It's important to have a consistent view across all your channels. And then the final piece really is you have to make it easy. It can't be cumbersome for the end users to use your mobile solution. So the education is also a top priority. So in rolling out this mobile solution, we've offered things like online self-paced e-learning so that the user can say, oh, I'm really interested in this mobile P2P payments. What is it and how does it work? Being able to enable them to learn about it and then start doing it, I think, is very important. From an adoption of mobile banking from the financial institutions, I think in the U.S. it has been slow. However, in other countries, it has been very rapid. In fact, we have a customer in South Africa who has deployed mobile banking and has over 800,000 consumers using their mobile banking solution. So, I think that in different regions there have been some very good success stories. I think in the U.S. and in other countries where it hasn't been so fast, I think the main thing that the financial institutions are struggling with is the business case. How do I financially justify doing mobile banking? And there's also, there has yet to be, in some cases, a really compelling reason, a clear market driver for mobile banking. And in some cases, we've seen that banks who have rolled it out, it's overly complex, it's onerous to sign up or get started. So if it's not easy, people aren't going to use it. I think that the final thing really has been people are still concerned about security. So the way that the banks can overcome these obstacles and really start driving the adoption gets into some of the stuff that we've talked about before, which is start small. Don't try to boil the ocean in your first try, but offer things that are compelling and offer things that you have in other channels. So if, as a consumer, I can go into online banking and I can do a transfer from one account to the other account, I should certainly be able to do that from my mobile device. It's a low risk transaction, and you start getting consumers comfortable with it. I think that it's also important to get your customers familiar with the mobile banking technologies. It's educate the end users, show them how easy it is. And then I think that the final thing really is understanding that from a building the business case perspective, as I mentioned earlier, the new generation of banking customers are going to demand it. It's going to be their only means of interacting with the financial institution. They're not going to come in the branch. They're not going to call the call center, and they're not necessarily going to use a laptop computer or a home computer to access online banking. The mobile device is becoming their internet access option. So the banks really need to recognize that if they're not offering mobile banking, if they're not offering payments through the mobile device, then consumers will go to other banks and they'll find other banks who are being innovative and who are leading the charge around mobile banking.